good. Obviously back on YouTube tonight, got a cool little shirt which I featured on last week's vlog, but I thought why not hop on across on YouTube and film a little bit, talk a little bit about it, since I sort of missed it last week. Didn't really have the opportunity to you know, talk about it on here, so I thought, right, I've already written the blog, so if you've seen it, awesome, thank you very much for reading. If not, you can go across and check it out. Now, see a little bit more, obviously, in-depth view pictures, what I've chatted about, blah, 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 but obviously it's quite nice to like feature the shirt across on video, so you can have a proper look across on YouTube. I've also got a cool suede from a super cool vintage shop I want to show you all as well. So I did a little bit of filming for this the other day, and I've got, to be honest, I've got quite a lot of filming on actually, which I need to do previous to editing the suede, but I've had a little look at some of the stuff we want to get it, because I wanted to make it as 70s and as sort of like American as possible. So it was quite a nice day the other day. The sun is back on my side. I've had a week. Last week was a bit of a nightmare. It was like, with the weather being the way it is, with wind, rain, horrible, feels like summer's gone, but this week hopefully it's back and it's been quite nice. So yeah, I got a chance to actually go now outside basically and shoot this suede jacket, which yeah, wanted 70s, wanted sort of like, you know, like cowboy western, even like sort of like a little bit of drug use, not actual drugs in there as well. But basically I think hopefully I might edit into this film. If not, it means I haven't done it yet because I've obviously had too much on. But I'm hoping it's going to look absolutely sweet, absolutely sick. And I think it'll like edit up really, really well. So I've got the American flag in there, everything's looking very Americana and very, very cool. Yeah, so what else have I been up to? The last time I sort of did something on YouTube, it was on the necklace special. So I did obviously a ring special, did a necklace special, but it's quite nice to sit back here and just have a little catch up, a little chat again. So I've been to London in that time. It was amazing. It's probably the first proper thing I've done since back in March. So it was crazy, like actually traveling somewhere, going on a train. It was all cool, all good. Like I felt really safe everywhere I went, all the restaurants, all the bars. But to be honest, like in London, obviously I've not got anything. I've never had anything, which is touch wood, you know, touch wood, A-okay. But all that time, I don't get, like I've come back to my parents' house and obviously they're still quite wary about it, but it's very, very split. Like other people are just living life, you know, like as normal, and others are still in the house quite sort of wary and scared of obviously the virus. But it's a strange one. I went down, met loads of people, went to a few like, you know, bars, restaurants, travelled on the tube, and I'm not very good on the tube, especially by myself. Always, I'm normally with someone, but I had a few days around London where it was like just me on the tube, and it's the first time I've sort of used the tube by myself. Obviously I downloaded an app to help me, like, you know, get from A to B. I thought I was doing pretty well, but then I sort of got lost for about 45 minutes, and it wasn't the best time to get lost because it was like 36 degrees in London. So obviously you can imagine on the tube it was very, very hot down there. But yeah, I think I sort of, bar my 45 minutes on one of the days I was down there, I got totally lost. Bar that, I think I did pretty well for my first solo trips around London on the tube. Normally I like to walk everywhere, but to be honest, it was so hot, it was like, you couldn't walk anywhere. It was like, even like going out, like Leicester Square is normally really busy with the fountains. It was so hot there wasn't even that many people around. More people just sitting in bars, air-conditioned bars preferably. I mean, when do you normally have to search for an air-conditioned bar in London? Not that many times of the year, but that's what I did. So I had a really good time. It was really nice to just like, obviously being in the house for so long and not really being able to see that many people and meet people. It was awesome, meeting new people, making a couple of new pals, obviously catching up with old pals. My mate Monier from Paris came over and he was in the city for, I think he was in the city for about a week, but I only stayed like a long weekend. It was cool, really, really good time, and it's sort of like given me a little bit of motivation as well. I always feel like when I go down to London, it always inspires me, gives me motivation. I was lucky enough to, you know, film a little bit of the trip. So I got 3 little cool videos. If you've not checked them out, head across to my Instagram, Unidentifiedrocker, you can check them out. And it was the classic, you know, very fast-paced, black and white. Cool, so you can check those out. But yes, let's get on and talk about basically last week's shirt, but tonight on YouTube. So here it is here. I mean, a few years ago, I would never have thought I would sport a shirt like this. especially with the obviously the front ruffle. It's just got your normal placket, but it's got this extra sort of ruffled material here. It's like a big bib basically on the shirt. And it's a sick shirt, but a few years ago I probably would never ever have gone anything like this. It's very plain on the back. It's like a chiffon material, it's chiffon texture, but it's 100% polyester. It's, I think, just a cheap alternative to obviously some of the more obviously expensive designer looks. So obviously this is very Gucci. My dad said it was very Harry Styles, but I really don't want to associate the old Harry Styles to this shirt. And I think it's the first time I've actually even mentioned his name across my YouTube. I guess he's sort of right, because he sort of wears this. It is quite a feminine type of shirt, but I tried to make it a little bit more masculine. Obviously I wouldn't normally wear it way open to the top. I mean, I did try it in the mirror just to see what it looked like, but I don't really wear my shirts like that anyway. Obviously you get more of the full, you know, look on the placket. If you do button it up to the top, you get the full, you know, ensemble thing going on. It's all straight, it's all flowing, it's all floaty there. But I do wear my shirts open, so I was deciding whether to wear it up tight or obviously, as I normally do, a shirt buttoned basically down to my belly button. And I went for that, to be honest. I do like wearing my shirts like that. But yeah, I think even with this, I'm thinking this white scarf would have gone quite nicely with it. So like open with a white scarf underneath, I think that would look pretty sick. All white, all look like quite flowing, quite, you know, very 70s. But this is, it's a 70s style, yeah? Even one of my dad's mates, he said he used to have one back in the day. Obviously he's thrown it away, it's come back into fashion again. It's a really, really nice, simple shirt. Obviously if you aren't a fan of the old flowing feminine feel, you probably won't like how you can basically see your nipples straight away through the shirt. Obviously it's a sheer shirt, so you can pretty much see everything underneath the shirt. It's not really like a cotton where you just can't see anything. Your nipples will be on show, but I'm not really bothered. To be honest, I wear my shirts really, really low, as you know, so mostly they're pretty much out anyway. But yeah, really, really nice design. This is an ASOS shirt, so it was £25. I think they've got a little promotion on. If you've never bought anything from ASOS, you get like 10% off, so you get even more money off it. So it really is a very cheap shirt for the style you're getting, but it's sort of, it looks a little bit better, especially if you dress it up. Obviously I said I made it look a little bit more masculine, so I tucked it in. It was more of a tactical tuck in. I don't really normally tuck in that many of my shirts, but just to make it a little boxy. I think obviously if it was undone, I think on the website, I've got a little bit of the website, I'll show you here, and it's basically, it's styled up, but it's styled out, so it's not tucked in. I'm not a massive fan of the whole not tucking it in, especially when you can see, if I wasn't going to tuck it in, the worst mistake ever would be to leave the washing instructions on, like get that off straight away. If you are going to leave it untucked, you don't want anyone to see the washing instructions. You don't want anyone to see, like, even say if your pants are riding above your jeans or trousers, obviously that would be a really bad thing. Again, this is the things you've got to think of with a sheer shirt, because everyone can see pretty much everything underneath. But yeah, I got the size small across on ASOS, so they've got all the sizes in there at the minute, so you've got a full range of sizing. But yeah, for 25 quid, I think it's like, especially the end of the summer, the weather's got a little bit better compared to last week, so I've been wearing it quite a lot. I did a little film when the weather was just sort of turned, so it was cloudy and it was windy, but it's sort of like, you know, matched the film what I wanted. So I went basically, you know, plodging in the sea. I don't know if plodging's a word everywhere, but it's definitely in the northeast, so that'll be one for you southerners. Basically like walking into the sea. I thought, right, it makes a cool little film, so I wanted to do something, you know, just to show the shirt off a little bit. So there's a film across my Instagram as well, you can see the shirt. There's a little photo you've probably seen, but if you've not read the blog post, go across and have a little read. But yeah, cool shirt. It matches, it's sort of, I wouldn't really say it's rock and roll, but you can style it that way. I mean, obviously on the website, it's quite a clean cut, fresh looking guy. He's wearing it buttoned up, but obviously the way I wore it, I'll throw in a few pictures actually, instead of me just trying to describe it. I'll throw a few pictures in here so you can get the general gist. So hat on, rings on, jewellery on. I think the jewellery really worked because you can see it sort of underneath, plus open enough to, there was something else there. So it wasn't just bare flesh, it wasn't just very plain. There wasn't like just the shirt and just the trousers. I think that's what I mentioned across in my blog. So it'd be quite hard to sort of wear this style where it's just purely on the shirt. It's nice, obviously my rings normally add things to the outfit, but I think with this shirt particularly, it's sort of like give it another, you know, like, oh, there's something else going on. It looked less feminine because of my jewellery and my rings. It made it more masculine, and that's why I, you know, tucked it in, boxed it out, made it look a little bit more masculine as well, because it is a very feminine style. It's a very floaty, you know, sort of virgin on girly shirt, but it's nice nonetheless, nevertheless even, and I like it. And I think that style is coming in, so it's sort of, you can always, even though a few years ago I thought I'd never wear something like this, I wore it, and to be honest, it's really cool. I want to keep it, it's sick, and it's going to be a part of my wardrobe. Really, really nice. The second one I'll get, so I'll have to, you know, do the classic cut. Things will move, hangers will be changed, and I'll see you in 2. Right, he's back. So a while ago, I don't know if you'll be able to remember this or if you even saw it, but I sort of helped my sort of Instagram pal out on sort of a little bit of a new collection. So Rachel, she has a vintage shop in Scotland, Stranger Vintage, you might have heard of it. So basically we mocked up a little film together. She did all the filming and I sort of like span a little edit on it and sort of made it look like quite cowgirl, quite sort of 70s, quite fast. I posted this ages ago and she was like, oh, I'll give you something for doing that for me. So I was like, alright, that's amazing, so cool. And we've been waiting for like quite a cool jacket to come in. She's been sending us the odd photo every week. Well, I saw this and I was like, you know what, if you were so generous, obviously saying I can have something anyway, please can I have this jacket? So I got this jacket. It's very, very Jim Morrison vibes. It's got this awesome fringe and lace up sort of section to the neckline. It's sort of a bit of a poncho because it's got a zip on the side, a very, very fine gold zip. But it's like very 70s. It is like, in fact, straight from the era. It's got this awesome fringing on the back as well. It's quite a heavy jacket. It's like a very, very thick suede. It's got a couple of big studded sort of sections there to the sleeve, so you can sort of roll up the cuffs. That's how I rolled it up on the video. I've only got one picture because basically I really wanted to get the video down. I wanted to do like another little video but with me on there as well. So yeah, I've filmed this. Hopefully the film may be out tonight. I don't know, it depends if I can get this sort of paid work done I've got going, and then I can concentrate on something which I just love and I can style anywhere I want and sort of edit anywhere I want. So hopefully it will be on either tonight or soon, and if it is, I might even show you a little clip in this YouTube.
I am the god of hellfire, and I bring you fire.
But yeah, absolutely amazing. So you can see this neckline of the jacket. It's so bloody cool. Absolutely love it. This is the first lace-up neckline I've ever had. I remember ages ago, years and years ago, and like some are, I remember, not friends, because I'm not going to say that, but like friends of friends. There's this one guy, he wore these sort of necklines all the time, and it was like, I didn't like that at all. It just looked so bad. I think it was like a, I don't know what brand did it, but it was like a modern brand did a twist on like this 70s sort of looking lace up neckline, and I was like, I will never ever ever wear something like that. But again, times change, but this is basically, they copied it and they did it really, really badly. That's what I'm trying to do. This is the original. This is the cool, super cool lace up neckline, which I absolutely love. But yeah, it just looks sick. It looks so cool. This jacket just reminds me of like something Jim Morrison would wear. So it's just like such a nice cut. It's obviously very Western. Obviously it's like my aesthetic through and through. Absolutely love it. So I actually wore this with a pair of leather pants, some sort of like cowboy-esque boots, but more modern cowboy-esque boots. But yeah, really, really super cool jacket, vintage. So obviously this is what I'm saying, like I did this little bit of, you know, a personal project. But if you, obviously after some vintage, especially girls vintage, because that's what she sort of deals in. But obviously girls vintage, guys vintage, especially when you're dealing with jackets, even old t-shirts, you can sort of mix it up. You can wear a girl something and obviously that no one will know. Obviously if you style it up, as I always say, you can always get away with the other, you know, gender type of clothing if you style up your way, if it fits, if it's, you know, if you can pull it off, if you can rock it, if you've got the confidence to do it. So yeah, if you are a guy or a girl, preferably a girl, because obviously that's where it's based, but if you're a guy, yes please, you can always rock it up. Go across, check out Strange Way Vintage. I'll leave a little link in the description below. Hopefully there'll be a little link tonight across my Instagram video. Fingers crossed if I do it. If not, it'll come out soon and you can check it out, check the brand out as well. Super cool stuff, all vintage, all killer. I mean, when it came, it was all like perfectly wrapped. Had some like stickers, labels, flyers with you know, like a really cool wrapping, even with a little bit of string. Attention to detail, perfect. And there's some killer stuff she sources online, picks the own vintage, and obviously sells it in a little shop and online as well. So yeah, it's definitely one to check out. Really cool vintage shop you need to know. And hopefully you'll like the film tonight as well. So you've seen the shirt, you've seen the jacket. I've had a little bit of a, you know, chat as we do on YouTube, just to check in, and hopefully there'll be, you know, the same stuff coming up. I'm trying to think what I've got coming up. I possibly might do the last sort of big project I've had is with Tiger as well. So this is my second month, so I've got some new sort of cool stuff I think you probably really want to see as well. So maybe next week we'll have a little chat about the autumn winter Tiger stuff, which is the brand based in Germany, so you can stay tuned for that. And that's it. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers. See you in a bit.